Happy Canada Day. It's Ron here from RJJ's Reactions. I hope you're having an amazing day. So, sticking with the Canadian theme, we're moving on with Rush, and the song is A Farewell to Kings. Rush is a very famous Canadian band, been around for quite some time, and basically three members. Geddy Lee is the singer and keyboardist, etc. And Alex Lifeson, a guitarist, and Neil Peart is an amazing drummer. He's incredible. He also writes a lot of the lyrics for Rush. He's also written books. And he's interested in science fiction and philosophy and history and all of these kinds of things. So he's a very interesting character. Unfortunately, we lost him not too long ago, but nevertheless, the music lives on. So let's have a listen to Rush. We will have a look at the lyrics afterwards and see what they look like. Let's have a listen.
When they turn the pages of history, when these days have passed long ago, will they read of us with sadness for the seeds that we let grow? We turned our gaze from the castles in the distance.
I'll back it up a little bit, but I have to say something about Geddy Lee's voice because if you haven't heard it before, it might come as a bit of a shock at the beginning. It's a bit different. For some people, it's unlistenable, but I've always loved it. Rush is one of my favorite bands, never mind Canadian band, but it's favorite band, period. But I know that some people don't like Geddy Lee's voice. But I know a lot of people who didn't like it, but then did like it after they'd listened to a little bit more and got into Rush and got into the lyrics, etc. All right, let's.
When they turn the pages of history, when these days have passed long ago, will they read of us with sadness for the seeds that we let grow? We turned our gaze from the castles in the distance. Aye! the minds that made us strong. Oh, can we learn to feel what's right and what's wrong? What's wrong?
That's great. Good Alex. Power.
Cities full of hatred, fear, and lies. Women, hearts, and cruel, tormented eyes. Scheming demons dressed in kingly guise. Beating down the multitude and scoffing at the white. Why can't we raise our eyes and make a start? Can't we find the minds to lead us closer to the heart?
Wow. Mhm. There's the swan. Wow, excellent. Haven't heard that song for ages. I should have put the album behind me. I do have it, but I haven't heard the song for a long, long time. That was excellent. The drumming is, like I said, it's incredible. It's impeccable. He was so proficient on the drums, but they're all great musicians, aren't they? They just play their instruments well. Geddy Lee plays his vocal instrument very well. It's a different vocal for sure, but it's powerful and yeah, it's just great. And the lyrics are wonderful too. So let's have a look at the lyrics now. A Farewell to Kings by Rush, and I believe Neil Peart wrote these lyrics. When they turn the pages of history, when these days have passed long ago, will they read of us with sadness for the seeds that we let grow? We turned our gaze from the castles in the distance, eyes cast down on the path of least resistance. So I think there's different ways that you can interpret that, but I think, will people in the future look back um, with sadness? Will they look back with regret on what we did? What seeds did we plant? And I'm sure that what we're doing now in 50 years, 100 years, they'll look back and say, what was wrong with those people? Why were they doing the things they were doing? Somebody he mentions castles. He was very interested. Neil Peart was very interested in all of the uh, mythology and lore and history, and so it's all kind of intertwined here, I think. Cities full of hatred, fear, and lies, withered hearts and cruel, tormented eyes, scheming demons dressed in kingly guise, beating down the multitude and scoffing at the wise. So certainly this can be referring to, the old age kings and queens and all of that um, going on. But kingly doesn't have to be king necessarily. It can be presidents and prime ministers and leaders of any kind, right? And scheming demons dressed in kingly guise, beating down the multitude and scoffing at the wise. Well, we could really draw some parallels to what's going on in some areas of the world today, right? Um, with that, for certain, there seems to be more people wanting and willing to believe in conspiracy theories and idiocy than there are people who want to listen to wisdom and knowledge and truth. But anyway, the hypocrites are slandering the sacred halls of truth. Oh, there we go. Ancient nobles showering their bitterness on youth. Can't we find the minds that made us strong? Oh, can't we learn to feel what's right and what's wrong? What's wrong? Cities full of hatred, fear, and lies, withered hearts and cruel, tormented eyes, scheming demons beating down. Yeah, I think we've done this. Oh, can't we raise our eyes and make a start? Can't we find the minds to lead us closer to the heart? So, closer to being good people, humane. I'm assuming anyway, that's what he's meaning, and finding a better way. And I think every generation goes through the same thing. Um, generation after generation after generation, there's good and bad, and we always wonder why can't we get to that point where we're kind with one another and more humane, and yet we're quick to anger and quick to get into fights with others as well. So I guess I don't know whether it's eternal, but it's a long history, and it's probably a long time into the future before we find that way. But let's hope that in the future they look back and are happy with at least some of the seeds that we plant today. uh, Very interesting lyrics. He's such a great writer. These are not the most complicated. They get into a lot more, but this is a great song to start with. If you would like to hear more from Rush, let me know. Also, let me know what else you'd like to hear from anyone, any other singer, any other group, or anything really. Uh, I'll at least consider it. Uh, Keep commenting. I really appreciate all the comments and suggestions and recommendations. Have a happy Canada Day, no matter where you are in the world. And I guess talking about this, a farewell to kings, and the lyrics here. Every country has its issues. Every country has its past, its history, and there are some people who believe we should not celebrate Canada Day because of some of the things that have happened. But I think we should. That doesn't mean we celebrate all the bad things. We remember those things and try to correct them and move forward and try to build the country together. I think until we start building the countries together, whatever country you're in, and then within between the countries as well, until we stop saying us and them, we're constantly going to keep planting bad seeds and having wars and fights and troubles. So let's just try to make it better. Keep working to make it better. Yes, look at the history and do what we can to not repeat it, the bad stuff, and keep the good and move forward. That's my little rant on that. All right. In the meantime, keep listening, keep having fun. Bye bye for now.